If you have a question, go ahead and send just a message to Kylie. She'll relay the message to me, and we will we'll answer the question. Again, can everyone please make sure their phone is on mute? I'm not sure I can get it to. Okay. All right, so we are recording the meeting. We'll make this available after. We'll likely have it on a share file for people to download. It'll be shared through the listserv. So if you have any questions or you missed something, it'll be available afterward. So we are here for the pre-application workshop for the 2020 NHTF, Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund application. We will just go over the annual cycle a little bit. We'll talk about the due date and the requirements for the pre-application, and then we'll jump into Amplifund, our new electronic database system, and we'll just kind of walk everybody through, and we'll kind of go over a few questions or a few items to consider when you're filling it out, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end. So the 2020 Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund, NHTF program, the pre-application, it is required if you're going to submit a full application for 2020 NHTF funds. The pre-application is very helpful for our staff. It gives us the opportunity to work with our grantees to be able to be prepared for the full application. So again, it's required in order to fill out a full application. DED's role as an investor and as a partner, we're really seeking quality applications to help select projects that will provide the best investments of the state resources. And again, as the partner, kind of as I had mentioned, it's providing input as early as possible for project design, working with our awarded applicants just to make sure that the project moves smoothly if awarded. Eligibility. Eligible applicants include governmental subdivisions, public housing authorities, community action agencies, and then community-based, neighborhood-based, or reservation-based nonprofits, 501c3s or C4s. For-profit entities are eligible, but the applicant must be one of the above applicants above, and they have to be working in conjunction with them. Additionally, any projects that are financed or that will be financed with LIHTC are not eligible for NHTF funds. Eligible activities. The full list is in section 58-706 of the Nebraska Affordable Housing Act. That's on page 5 of the application guidelines. Just a few that typically come in. A lot of times we'll see new construction, rehabilitation, down payment and closing costs, demo and infrastructure. Those should be done in conjunction with another affordable housing activity. Acquisition, mortgage insurance, and vocational training, those are all eligible as well. The 2020 NHTF allocation cycle. So for this year, there will be $9,270,000 available in the housing funding cycle. That includes $9,150,000 specifically for housing projects, which would be your home buyer, homeowner, and rental projects. And then there is $120,000 for nonprofit technical assistance. We then will have $1,030,000 available for discretionary funds. That will include $1 million in housing projects and $30,000 for a regional or statewide nonprofit technical assistance application. This year there will be no funds allocated towards the home match. I'll touch on that a little bit later. But additionally, $3,090,000 of NAHTF must be allocated within each congressional district for housing projects and nonprofit technical assistance. And if you aren't sure which congressional district you're located in, you can review this map, or you can go to this website here. You can enter your address, I think, or just your zip code, and it'll tell you which district you're located in. So a few links here. The 2020 application guidelines are available, the link here. And then in order to fill out the pre-application, you would go to the Amplifund link right here below. Do we have any questions before we move on a little more? Okay. So the pre-application due date is Thursday, March 12th by 6 p.m. Central. The system will not allow any pre-applications to be submitted past 6 o'clock. So do not wait until March 12th or March 11th to start your pre-application because at 6:01 it won't be available to submit anymore. Again, the link is right here. We will not accept any hard copy submissions, and then pre-applications are prepared at the applicant's expense. So the pre-application requirements. So when you go to Amplifund, which we'll do right after this slide here, you'll go to the opportunity details page, and it provides some information. And then you'll have to fill out the project information and then all of your application forms, which are the general information, project details, and the electronic signature, and the for further questions form. And then you can submit it. Again, March 12th by 6 p.m. So we will go ahead and jump into Amplifund here real quick. Hopefully some people have had the opportunity to go into Amplifund. If you have not, this is going to be your first time seeing it. Okay. Again, so this would be the home page, the opportunity detail page that I mentioned. For the first time, it just provides a little bit of information about the opportunity, which would be the Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund. There's submission information, eligibility information, and some additional information. Sorry, we're having some troubles. Can you please make sure your phones are muted? Okay. So if it's your first time that you're on Amplifund, you can go to the Apply button up here, and then you can, if you haven't registered, you would click the Register button, and then after you register, you'll have your information. I'm not going to walk everybody through that right now. I'm just going to jump in here so we can see what it looks like on the other side. What am I missing here, Jennifer? NDED test plus. All right. So once you're logged in, this is, again, the opportunity detail page. You can click the Apply button, and then that takes you to the opportunities details page. The first thing that you're going to fill out is the application name. So whatever the project is called, if you're rental new construction, just for example, whatever you're going to call the project, enter it in there. And then the total amount of award that you're requesting. So if you're requesting $500,000 total dollars of NHTF, you'd enter it in there. And then this is just information about the contact person, so the main contact. Enter in the name, email address. Sorry, I can't spell today. And then you would just click Save and Continue. So this is going to take you to the application form section, right? So you'd want to start with the Part 1 general information. So when we go in there, you're going to enter the name of the organization that's applying or that is the applicant. I'll just make up one here. Real creative, I know. And then enter in all the information, identify if you're, local government, nonprofit, and then the contact person here. So this is asking who's registered in the portal. So whoever registered for the application or the system, is that the same person that is the main contact for the application? So identify yes if it is the same person, or if you have, say, a development district or someone else helping out, enter no, and then fill out the individual that's the main contact for the project. All of these little asterisks right here mean that it's a required field, so you'll have to make sure that all of that is entered in there. Application prepared, is it the same person? Is it a different person from the applicant? Again, so like the development district, you can fill out that information. If it's just the same person, just leave it and you just move on. The really nice thing about the Amplifund system is that you really just answer the questions and it gives you the information that you need to fill out. So once you have that section done, you'll just click Save and Continue, and it'll take you to the project details page. If you are applying for more than one project, you will need to fill out separate pre-applications. There must be one pre-application for each project. If you're only doing one project, just answer no there. Again, enter in the amount of funds that you're requesting, and then identify if you're applying for a housing project or technical assistance. If you click the housing project, it's going to have a few additional questions here. Identify if it's going to be for disaster recovery or not. And then identify the type of project that you're applying for. The owner-occupied rehab, rental new construction, home buyer program, are you going to do new construction, down payment assistance? Simply identify the type of project that you're applying for. And then again, if there's an additional activity as provided in Section 58-706 of the Nebraska Affordable Housing Act, you can click yes, and then you can write down what the activity is. If there's nothing additional, just click no. Again, we're in housing projects here, so I'm going to just scroll through here real quick. District indicator, identify the main congressional district that you're going to be working in for your project. And then the second one here, if you're working in more than one district, you can click those districts. If you're working in all three, click all three. If it's just one, leave it as one. Legislative districts, so select all the legislative districts in your service area. You can just hold down the control button to select multiple ones. For a Mac, you would use the command button to select all the districts. And then we move on to where you're serving the project. So if you're doing a county-wide project, say you're working in Adams County, you're going to serve the entire county, communities in the county, you can identify that. You can identify the specific cities in the county as well. I know Ashland is not in Adams County, Aurora's not there, I'm just clicking. Or if you're doing multiple counties, you can select multiple counties. Just identify where the project is going to be located. Again, this is for the housing project. So up here, this question right here, we selected housing projects. So a couple of the questions down here directed towards housing project. Fill out a project description, summarizing the project. So explain the type of project, where the project will take place, who it will serve, provide a timeline, and then a description of the team. And you can just fill that out in the box right here. And then you move on to the open grants. So any open DED, CDBG, home, HTF, rural workforce, or NAHTF grant that is open, enter that information in here. So you can put the grant number, the contract start date and end date, amount of funding that was provided or contracted, if you had any amendments, a brief status of the project. You can be creative here. You can, I don't remember how much space we provided for that, but a little narrative, or you can just say on time, whatever the status is, provide that. Number of units that were proposed in the contract, enter that, and then what you're set to accomplish or what you've already accomplished. Once you fill that out, click the table is filled out to the best of my ability. If you don't have any open grants, select the second tab, filled out because I do not have applicable information. So I'm going to scroll back up here real quick. I'm going to switch over to the technical assistance. Did anyone have any questions? Okay. So technical assistance, there's a few less questions. District indicator, service area, same as we went over with the housing projects. The summary is a little bit different, so provide a summary of the technical assistance application. The purpose of it, service area, activities that you'll accomplish, and the timeline. And then again, the open grants is the same as we discussed with the housing projects. Once all that's done, you can click Save and Continue. I should mention, once you have a page done, there's nothing else to edit. You'll want to click the Mark as Complete. So we do have a question. On the open grants, do you only want open housing grants or all grants? So any open DED grants that are CDBG, home, HTF, NHTF, or rural workforce. So enter any of those in there if it's an open grant. And that's for the applicant if they have any open grants. So once you mark it as complete, it's done. Sorry. You can't move on until every field is filled in. But once you have every field entered, every section entered, you'd click the Mark as Complete if you have something to come back to. Yeah. If you have a section that you need to come back to, you can just click the Save and Continue. So let's The next section is the electronic signature. So enter the name of the certifying official. Again, type the name, the box, enter the date. So the certifying official, for you in a local government, it'd be the chief elected official. For a nonprofit, community action agency, or public housing authority, that would be the official authorized by the governing body to sign applications. So another question on the open grants. If a grant is closed on the grantee end but waiting for closeout from the state, yeah, go ahead and enter that information in there. If it hasn't received closeout from DED, go ahead and enter it into the open grants. And you can just identify that in the status, waiting for closeout from DED. Certifying official, so dates. Again, another question on the open grants. If the docs have been submitted, certificate of completion letter hasn't been received, yes, please still enter that. If you haven't received closeout information from DED, enter it in there, and then just identify that in the status that you're waiting for closeout documents. Okay. So back to the pre-application, the application forms. This is the last form under this section. If you have questions, reach out to your program reps. You can click on this link, and then there is a map on that page. It's in the application guidelines as well. So questions, go to your program rep. We will provide an frequently asked questions document. It'll be available on just our guidelines page. Once we have some questions that have come in, we'll upload that and make it available. There's nothing on the website right now. We just haven't had any questions really come in, but we'll update that as frequently as possible. And then any additional questions, you can always reach out to me. Also, if you have some other questions specific to Amplifund, there is a help button on here. You can click that, and then you can email Amplifund directly, and they can help provide guidance. And there are additional videos and user guides on our website specific to Amplifund. I'll pull that up here in a second. When you are filling out your application, you're getting ready to submit it, all of these forms will need to be marked as complete. On the top up here, what's this called, the tracker? The timeline. So this little green button up here is considered the timeline. You can see the opportunity details page has a checkbox. That means everything's done, it's okay. The project information is just a solid green. That means that you still have information. It's not marked as complete. So once you marked it as complete, you had everything, it would have this green checkbox up here. We're in the application forms, so it has a little circle in there. Once you have all those forms done and marked as complete, it's going to show that green checkbox. Please remember that when you're working on the for further questions page, mark this as complete, and then you can save and continue that page. There's no questions on it, but you still have to click it as marked as complete. And then once you have everything done, I can't submit it right now because I don't have all the information in there, but it would tell you you're about to submit your application. right here it's telling me I have forms I need to fill out yet. If that wasn't there, or if I had everything in there, that wouldn't be there. I'd be able to click this submit button. You can download and review your application, your pre-application. Once you have everything, just click the submit button, and then you will get an email confirmation that it has been submitted. Any questions? Or does anybody want me to go back to a page or a section or a form to just look at again? Okay. Again, make sure it's done by 6 p.m. Central Time, March 12th. This green button, I don't think it'll be available at all at 6:01. So make sure it's done by 6 o'clock. You can copy and paste information into the sections. So if you want to work in Word for your project description, you can copy and paste and then it's in there. So you don't have to work in the system in here. You can have a document, copy and paste. There are character limits. So I have 3,281 characters left. If I were to copy and paste something that was over that, it would be highlighted red, and I'd have to make sure to delete some sections or revise it a little bit. All right. So the program rep map, again, you can go to our website and you can download it. It is in the application guidelines. Lynn is our housing manager. Michelle Grimes, she is our housing specialist for home and HTF. Myself, housing specialist for NHTF and CDBG. Kylie Bischoff is our application coordinator. Kara Lacey is our compliance coordinator. And then our program reps, Christy McClung is out west in this orange here. Laura Hart is in the blue here in the central location. Right now, Michelle is technically our northeast rep in the pink here. We will have a new individual coming on soon. If you have questions here in Northeast, you can reach out to me as well. Michelle and I will help out until the new person comes on. And then in the green Southeast is Nick Drapinski. Yeah, so we can go back to electronic signature page here real quick. Is there a specific question on the electronics or the electronic signature? So it would be the elected official. So so for like a nonprofit community action agency, the housing authorities would just be the official authorized by the governing body. Oh, I'm sorry, you're talking up here. I misinterpreted your question. So the name, yes, that is the elected official there. So not the person filling out the application, the certifying official entered their information here. Okay. Workshops, we will hold additional workshops for the full application. Tuesday, March 24th at 1:30 Central, there will be another WebEx streaming workshop that we'll do. And then Thursday, April 16th at 10 a.m., we'll have another WebEx. We'll make the registration available here in the next week. So we'll send out an email and you can register again. And then we plan to do in-person workshops. So from March 30th to April 10th, myself, Kylie, the program reps, depending on which region we're in, we will go to, so like for Christy's region here in the orange, we'll come out here and we'll do kind of a working group or a working session, kind of walking through Amplifon, any questions that anyone has. It'll be more of an actual work session. And once we have all the pre-applications and we know who's applying, we'll kind of coordinate it from there. We want to include everybody that's applied. So that information will be shared here in the next month or so. We'll do one in Christy's region, one in Laura's region, one up Northeast, and then one here in Nick's region. So we have another question here, and we have Jennifer Zarek here in our office helping out. She's the mastermind at DED behind Amplifon, so I'm going to let her answer this question. How do multiple people in the same organization access the same pre-app?
So when Evan first started his demonstration, he showed you how to register for the applicant portal. So if you go, whenever you're logged in, if you go into your account information in the applicant portal, go to users. This is where you can add other users to your account. So if you have multiple colleagues that work on the same application, they all need to be added as users. So you only need one organization administrator. By default, that's going to be the person that first registers in the portal for your organization. Then you can add users who can edit and view the application. You'll need the same information for them: email, first, last name. Be sure that you select editor, and then click invite after you've filled out all the necessary information, which is designated by an asterisk. When you click invite, they'll get an email invitation to go into your portal. So you can add as many as you need to.
All right. So if there are other specific questions to Amplifon as well, if you go to this link here, if it'll upload. There are videos how to go through and do certain items, sections within Amplifon. So these, I think they're all YouTube videos. Click on them, it'll show you the video, registering, starting the application. So some of these are more geared toward the full application, but there's videos there. So there are also user guides. You can just download them, and it kind of walks you through the same questions, so you can see what you're clicking on or what the item is within Amplifon. And if those user guides or those videos don't answer your question, reach out to your program rep, and then if we're not able to get it answered there, we'll work through it here in-house and get an answer for you. There are also the application guidelines, tools, few forms, frequently asked questions document will be on this page here. So the guidelines are right here. Your notice of public hearing, your checklist. A lot of this information isn't needed for the pre-application, but once you go to fill out your full application, it'll be on here. And the FAQ will be on this page as well. And then there's also a link here to the QAP. Takes a minute to load. So the 2020 QAP right here. Click and download that. So additionally, this does but does not specifically apply to NAHTF 2020 cycle. DED, we're in the process of updating our 2024 consolidated plan, which is a 5-year tool which helps assess affordable housing and community development needs. It's a requirement in order for us to receive federal funds from the following programs. So our CDBG program, Home Investment Partnership Program, Housing Trust Fund, the Emergency Solution Grants Program, and the Housing Opportunities for Persons with AIDS program. So we have to have a consolidated plan to receive those funds. The big component connection to the trust funds, the NHTF, is the Home Investment Partnership. I had mentioned earlier, we aren't matching anything this year to the home program, but within the next 5 years, we will likely be using the trust fund to match the home program. So if you could, or if you have not already, please help out and fill out these 2 surveys. There's one for the consolidated plan and one for analysis to impediments of fair housing choice. I think they take 10 to 15 minutes to fill out. You can just go to this link, takes you directly to the survey. This pulls up more information on the consolidated plan. We should have a draft available, I think, in March, and then we'll have a 30-day public comment period. So here's some more information on the consolidated plan. So please fill out those surveys if you have not. And do we have any other questions? Okay. Well, if you do have questions, let us know. We will, like I said, we were recording, so we'll make this recording available to everyone. I'll send out a copy of the PowerPoint as well. Otherwise, if we don't have anything else, I think we'll go ahead and finish up. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll talk to you later.